Welcome back to my 7th grade advanced class. We're going to be doing 2.6 here. I got all the odd ones. So the first one says tell whether x and y are proportional. Remember, we can tell x and y are proportional by making sure they have the same rate everywhere. If I've got 4 over 6, as the book says, that's going to be equal to, let's see if we divide both the top and bottom by 2. That's going to give us 2 over 3. If I take 6 over 8, and I divide both of these by 2, that's going to give me 3 over 4, which is not proportional. So already I know this is not proportional. I don't even need to do 8 over 10, which really would have gave me 4/5. So not proportional. All right, number 2 is for you to do. Number 3, plot the ordered pair in the coordinate plane. So if I'm going to plot this in the coordinate plane, first I'm going to make a coordinate plane and not waste time on the video by doing that. I took a little time to go ahead and put my coordinate plane there. I have -5, -2, so that tells me I'm going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to go down -2. And that's going to put me right over here. All right, so yeah, understand that this is always x and this is always for my y-axis, right? Helps me figure out what to do here. Let's go with number 5 now. Once again, I'm going to make my coordinate plane. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is -1, so that put me at -1 on the x-axis, and +2 on the y-axis. So that'll put my coordinate right about there. All right, let's go to number 7. Simplify this. When I'm simplifying, I'm going to go ahead and combine these numbers. First, I got to distribute properties. So this is going to turn to 3w minus 8. Remember, this is a -4, okay? So -4 times 2w is going to give us -8w. -4 times +3 will give me a -12. Now I can combine like terms. When I combine my like terms, I'm going to go ahead and take the common terms, which is -8w, put it over here. And my -12 and put it down here with my 8, or my -8. Okay, now this is all gone. Do not think about reusing this. All right, and now we've got, well, -8 and -12 make -20. And 3 and -8 makes a -5w. So -5w minus 20 will be our simplified answer. All right, let's go to number 9 now. It says determine how far the vehicle travels in 3 hours. This motorcycle travels 25 miles every 0.5 hours. So remember, we're trying to find out what 3 hours would be. So we'll put the 3 on the bottom with the hours, and we'll put the x on top. So yeah, we're going to cross multiply here. This is going to give us 25 times 3 has to equal 0.5 times x. So 25 times 3, we all know that's 75. That has to equal 0.5x. Remember, I have to divide 0.5 away to get x by itself, which means I have to divide 75 by 0.5. This is gone now, so x is by itself. I can use my calculator to solve this pretty quick. We're going to take 75 and divide it by 0.5. That's going to give us 150. So that's 150 miles, right? All right, next we got number 11, a ferry travels 45 miles every 1.5 hours. That's 45 over 1.5. That has to equal, remember this is miles up here. This is hours over here. And this is going to be a 3 down here because we want to find out what x is. Well, we're going to have to take this improper fraction and turn it to a fraction, right? So this is all going to become 45. If I go around the world, that's 3 over 2. And that's going to equal x over 3. Now let's put this together. We're going to take 45 times 3, and it has to equal 3 over 2 times x. All right, so this is 45 times 3 equals 3 over 2 times x. When I do this, 45 times 3, do this really simple. That's going to give us 135. Equals 3 over 2x. Now I'm going to have to multiply this side to 2 over 3 to get rid of it. That makes sense because the inverse of 3 over 2 is 2 over 3. That leaves me x on this side. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do on the other side. So I'm going to have to multiply this side to 2 over 3. Well, we can take 135, multiply it to 2. And then take that answer and divide it by 3. That gives us 90. So that means we're going 90 miles. All right, let's go ahead and go to number 13. Looking like they want us to solve for proportions. All right, since they want us to solve for y, remember when we cross and multiply that 3y has to equal 4 times 12. All right, that means 3y is going to equal 48. Now I have to divide by 3, which means I divide by 3. That gives me y by itself. 48 divided by 3 is going to be 16. So 13 is y equals 16. Number 15 says b over 36 equals 5 over 9. I'm trying to find b. That means I'll take 9 times b. That has to equal 36 times 5. 36 times 5. That's 180. That has to equal 9b. I'm going to have to go ahead and divide 9b by 9 to get rid of it. Well, I know 18 divided by 9 is 2, so 180 divided by 9 would be 20. So b equals 20. All right, let's go to number 17. We got 3 times 14. This works either way. That has to equal 4v. Well, 3 times 14 that equals 42. So this would be 42 equals 4v. Well, that means I got to divide 4v by 4. Now I have 42 divided by 4. All right. 42 divided by 4 equals 10.5. So that means 10.5 is going to be equal to v. Number 19, we see that we're going to have 35 times 12. That's going to have to equal 28 times m. Well, 35 times 12, that's going to equal 70. Now I have to divide 28m by 28, which means I need to take, and I'm sorry, this can't be right because 35 times 2 is 70. I must have done something wrong with my calculator, and I did. So 35 times 12. Let's do that again. Oh, much different. 420. So let's correct that. Now I'm going to have to divide 420 by 28. Divided by 28. That's going to give me 15. All right, let's go to number 21. This is going to be 54 times y. That has to equal 44 times 9. All right, so let's take 44 times 9. That equals 396. I have to divide 54y by 54. Whatever I divide from one side, I divide from the other. Now I have 396 divided by 54. That gives me 7.3 repeating. So I'm going to put y equals 7.3 repeating. Does it say to put decimals? No. So if I wanted to write this as a fraction, I could go ahead and write 7.3 repeating is 7 1/3. All right, let's go ahead and do number 23. This is going to give you 20 times 12. It's going to equal 16D. 20 times 12, well, 2 times 12, that's 24, so this is going to be 240. And to get D by itself, I have to divide it by 16. Whatever I divide from one side, I divide from the other side. Now I have 240 divided by 16. That equals 15. So D equals 15. Now I got number 25. This is 5 times 32. 32 times 5. That has to equal 16N. Now I'm going to go ahead and take 32 and multiply it to 5. That's going to equal 160. 160 divided by 16, but there's no math there, right? That's going to give me 10. All right, now I got 27, which is 2.4 times K. Now it's going to equal 1.8 times 7.2. I'm going to take 1.8 times 7.2, 1.8 times 7.2. That's going to give me 12.96. I'm going to have to divide 2.4 away. Which means I'll divide it away from this side. When I divide it by 2.4, I get 5.4. All right, let's get to number 29. It says, without solving, determine whether x over 4 equals 5 over 3 and x over 15 equal 4 over 3. If they have the same solution, explain your reasoning. Well, over here I know that I'm going to multiply 4 times 15, and over here I'm going to multiply 4 times 15. Over here, I'm going to multiply x times 3. And over here, I'm going to multiply x times 3. Yes, I'm going to get the same thing because it's the same numbers. So, yes, shrink that up a bit. Because the numbers being multiplied give me the same product. Next, we go on to number 31. It says writing a proportion. Use the table to write a proportion. Well, it doesn't even say to solve it. So we just have to write a proportion here. Well, I'm going to say that we have n over 85, right? That has to equal 34 over 170. And that is my proportion. I guess we could put the labels here. This is the top part are the winners, right? I'm just going to make this a little easier. I'm going to put this winners in between that go for both of them. Okay, winners. And this is entries down here. Okay, so this is going to be, wow, that's ugly. Oh boy, I'm not doing that all over again. We'll just make it an ugly equal sign, I guess. There we go. And then this will be 34 over 170. Okay, and then if we did the number 33 here, we'd have 100 meters over x seconds. I'm just going to use the straight lines here. This has to equal 200 over 22.4. All right, let's go ahead and do number 35 next. It says find the value of x so that the ratios are equivalent. Okay, if they're equivalent, and this is 4 to 5, so that's going to give me 4 to 5, and x to 20. So that's going to give me 4 times 20 has to equal 5x. Well, 4 times 20, that's easy, that's 80. Then we're going to have to divide 5x by 5. Now I got 80 divided by 5. Well, I know 40 divided by 5 is 8, so I imagine 80 divided by 5 will be 16. Let's just try that. 80 divided by 5. 16. All right, over here we got x to 0.25. And 6 to 1.5. means we're going to take 1.5 times x. That's got to be equal to 0.25 times 6. When I think about quarters, right? 6 quarters equal $1.50. And since it's 2 decimal places, it's going to be 1.5. So I got 1.5 equals 1.5x. Wow, this turned out nice. So that means I can divide 1.5x by 1.5. And I'll divide this by 1.5. And that makes this really easy because any number divided by itself equals 1. So x equals 1. All right, let's go to number 39. 39, it says 7 over 4 to 14. So now I've got 7 over 4 to 14. And x to 32. So now this is going to give me, I'm just going to bring this over here, 7 over 4 times 32 has to equal 14x. Well, I remember that 32, I can make 32 over 1. I know 4 goes into 32 8 times. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 32 divided by 4 is 8. Now I have 8 times 7, and 8 times 7 is 56. So now I have 56 equals 14x. I've got to divide 14x by 14 so I get x by itself, which means I'll divide 56 by 14. 56 divided by 14 gives me 4. So x equals 4. All right, let's go to number 40. Oh, I don't have to do that. And we made an agreement. We were only going to go up to number 40 for now to keep our videos under 28 minutes. I'm going to reveal all the answers from 41 to 42, though, just in case anyone was brave enough to do it and wants to get some extra credit. So hold on tight. I'm going to put all the answers there and then reveal. Oh, wow. I have to apologize. I was going to put all the answers in. I remembered. You guys have to work those problems, and I'll reveal the answers in the class. And that's how we'll go ahead and give you the extra points. So we're cutting the video off here. Hey, at 28 minutes, not bad. See you in class for grading. Have a good night.